How can I best listen to my soul? If the soul is the boss, really, how can I make sure I get those memos from the front office? The first thing you might do is get clear about what the soul is after and stop making judgments about it. I'm making judgments about my own soul constantly. I just showed you how you judge yourself for wanting to die. You also judge yourself for wanting to live, truly live. You judge yourself for wanting to laugh, wanting to cry, wanting to win, wanting to lose, for wanting to experience joy and love. Especially, do you judge yourself for that? I do. Somewhere you've come across the idea that to deny yourself is godly and that not to celebrate life is heavenly. Denial, you have told yourself, is goodness. Are you saying, is it bad? It is neither good nor bad. It is simply denial. If you feel good after denying yourself, then in your own words, that is goodness. If you feel bad, then it's badness. Most of the time, you can't decide. You deny yourself for that because you tell yourself you are supposed to. And then you say that was a good thing to do, but wonder why you don't feel good. And so the first thing to do is to stop making these judgments against yourself. Learn what is the soul's desire and go with that. Go with the soul. What the soul is after is the highest feeling of love you can imagine. This is the soul's desire. This is its purpose. The soul is after the feeling, not the knowledge, but the feeling. It already has the knowledge, but knowledge is conceptual. Feeling is experiential. The soul wants to feel itself and thus to know itself in its own experience. The highest feeling is the experience of unity with all that is. This is the great return to truth for which the soul yearns. This is the feeling of perfect love. Perfect love is to feel what perfect white is to color. Many think that white is the absence of color. It is not. It is the inclusion of all color. White is every other color that exists combined. So too is love not the absence of emotion, hatred, anger, lust, jealousy, covetousness, but the summation of all feeling. It is the sum total, the aggregate amount, the everything. Thus, for the soul to experience perfect love, it must experience every human feeling. How can I have compassion on that which I don't understand? How can I forgive in another that which I have never experienced in myself? So we see both the simplicity and the awesome magnitude of the soul's journey. We understand at last what it is up to. The purpose of the human soul is to experience all of it so that it can be all of it. How can it be up if it has never been down? Left if it has never been right? How can it be warm if it knows no cold? Good if it denies evil? Obviously, the soul cannot choose to be anything if there is nothing to choose from. For the soul to experience is grandeur, it must know what grandeur is. This it cannot do if there is nothing but grandeur. And so the soul realizes that grandeur only exists in the space of that which is not grand. The soul, therefore, never condemns that which is not grand, but blesses, seeing it a part of itself which must exist for another part of itself to manifest. The job of the soul, of course, is to cause us to choose the grandeur, to select the best of who you are without condemning that which you do not select. This is a big task. Taking many lifetimes for you won't to rush to judgment, to call a thing wrong or bad or not enough, rather than to bless what you do not choose. You do worse than condemn. You actually seek to do harm to that which you do not choose. You seek to destroy it. If there is a person, place, or thing which you do not agree, you attack it. If there is a religion that goes against yours, you make it wrong. If there is a thought that contradicts yours, you ridicule it. If there is an idea other than yours, you reject it. In this you err, for you create only half a universe and you cannot even understand your half when you have rejected out of hand the other. So the soul main purpose is to have all experiences, experience all emotions. It's like they say, the rainbow cannot be complete without the 7 colors. It will be an incomplete rainbow. So rainbow dekhna to 7 colors aate. And do you know, for general knowledge purposes, when is it that we see the rainbow? It is only when all the 5 elements are present. That means there is earth, there is water, there is ether, there is air, and there is 5th element. I've forgotten. So जब वो 5 है, जो 5 तत्व है बोलते हैं, fire. When all these 5 elements are present, that is where the rainbow gets its shape. So the prerequisite for a rainbow to show all 7 colors and show its grandeur is to have those five elements present. That's how rainbow हर रोज तो आता नहीं है, कभी-कभी आता है. So that is a time where all 5 elements are present. तभी बारिश जरूर होती है, water element is strong there. So that's the basic logic and reasoning. So soul को भी यहाँ पे हर चीज experience करनी है. Good or bad is our label, our judgment. It's the mind's label. It's the mind's work. Like Saila just shared, बाहर अगर बारिश हो रही है तो it's the same for everybody ना. I like rain, I'll be happy. It's good. My mind and me, we label it good. Somebody who's getting late and knows कि बारिश होगी तो traffic होगा, he label it bad. In life, try to work with good words. There is nothing good, there is nothing bad. It is as it is. There can be situations which are desirable and slightly undesirable. That's the right way to look at it. हम जब उसको इतना harsh label दे देते ना, this is good, this is bad. Why do you want to go into so much of extremities? सबसे पहले तो judgment होनी नहीं चाहिए. It is as it is. But अगर आपको just in case, because see, it's a deep-rooted part of upbringing, deep-rooted part of your programming, start thinking on those lines that, okay, this is desirable, this is undesirable, but it's okay. As the line says, it's okay not to be okay at times. There is no harm. So जो आपके space में है, stop thinking on those terms, whether it is good for you, whether it is bad for you, because this is nothing to do with what is. It's the way your mind is perceiving it to be. उस चीज में या उस subject में या उस person में कुछ नहीं है. ये सारा mind का लोचा है. So rather than, all the time labeling others, all the time labeling yourself, start being in acknowledgement and acceptance of what is as it is. Everything is a blessing. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट ये है ना, यू आर ब्लेस्ड, दिस इज गॉड्स ग्रेस at the simplest and the most profound blessing. Because अगर ये नहीं है, then you're not here. It is as simple as that. So whenever you feel that you are in a situation jahan there are certain undesirable things more in your vicinity, just quiet yourself and take a deep breath in and then release and say, thank you, Lord, for the breath. Because अगर वो सांस है, a lot is possible. और अगर वो नहीं है, no matter what you have planned for, no matter what you wanted to do, nothing is possible. So the biggest and the simplest blessing is that there is breath. So in order to get to what the soul is trying to say, is that rather than labeling things good, bad, just think them as desirable, undesirable. Because जब हम किसी चीज को bad बना देते ना, तो हमने भी वो negative का spell किया. Because words are nothing but your spell being casted by you. So, but if I use a better word, like this is desirable, this is undesirable. Okay, makes sense. फिर हमने किसी को बुरा नहीं बनाया, हमने माइंड की परसेप्शन को स्टडी किया कि हाँ जी ठीक, this is desirable, this is undesirable, but both are part, it's okay. That is the soul's purpose. और जब हम उस फ्रीक्वेंसी पे अपने आप को रखेंगे, that is where we will be able to actually hear what the soul is trying to tell you. Because deep down the soul knows everything is one. ये तो मेरे माइंड ने लेबल, जजमेंट, कंपैरिजन, क्रिटिसिज्म, एक्सपेक्टेशन, वो उन चारों का लोचा चलाया हुआ है, और इसीलिए हमें लगता है कि हर बंदा अलग है. But deep down we are all one, and that the soul knows. But the soul wants to experience that oneness. That is the purpose. So, चाहे आपके पास desirable situation है या undesirable situation, it's okay. It's part of the process. Have that trust. And जब आपको लगे कि you are in a situation where the undesirable are slightly high, just stop there and then take a nice breath and say, thank you, Lord, for the breath. That's very important. Because then your mind is given the first direction and an important direction. भैया हर चीज में कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा ही है. It is as it is, and I am blessed that it is as it is, and I do not want to label it. I just want to be on that frequency of gratitude, of thank you, of blessing, that thank you for everything. And I want to be in that position wherein my entire space knows, including me, myself, that I trust the process. This is all very profound, and I thank you. No one has ever said these things to me, at least not with such simplicity. And I am trying to understand, really, I am. Yet, some of this is difficult to grapple with. You seem to be saying, for instance, that we should love the wrong so that we can know the right. Are you saying we must embrace the devil, so to speak? How else do you heal him? Of course, a real devil does not exist, but I reply to you in the idiom you choose. Healing is the process of accepting all, then choosing best. Do you understand that? You cannot choose to be good, to be God, if there is nothing else to choose from. Oops, hold it. Who said anything about choosing to be God? The highest feeling is perfect love, is it not? Yes, I should think so. And you can find and can you find a better description of God? No, I cannot. Well, your soul seeks the highest feeling. It seeks to experience to be perfect love. It is perfect love and it knows this, yet it wishes to do more than know it. It wishes to be in its experience. Of course, you are seeking to be God. What else do you think you were up to? I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess I just never thought of it that way. There just seems to be something vaguely blasphemous about that. Isn't it interesting that you find nothing blasphemous about seeking to be like the devil, but seeking to be like God offends you? Now, wait a minute. Who's seeking to be like the devil? You are. You all are. You've created religions that tell you that you are born in sin, that you are the sinners at birth, in order to convince yourself of your own evil. Yet, if I told you you are born of God, that you are pure gods and goddesses at birth, pure love, you would reject me. All your life, you spent convincing yourself that you are bad. Not only you are bad, but the things you want are bad. Sex is bad, money is bad, joy is bad, power is bad, having a lot is bad, a lot of anything. Some of your religions have even got you to believing that dancing is bad, music is bad, celebrating life is bad. Soon you'll agree that smiling is bad, laughing is bad, loving is bad. No, no, my friend, you may not be very clear about many things, but about one thing you are clear. You are, and most of what you desire are bad. Having made this judgment about yourself, you have decided that your job is to get better. It's okay, mind you. It's the same destination in any event. It's just that there is a faster way, a shorter route, a quicker path, which is acceptance of who and what you are right now and demonstration of that. This is what Jesus did. It is the path of the Buddha, the way of Krishna, the walk of every master who has appeared on the planet. And every master has likewise had the same message. What I am, you are. What I can do, you can do. These things and more shall you also do. Yet you have not listened, you have not chosen instead the far more difficult part of one who thinks he is the devil, one who imagines he is the evil. You say it is difficult to walk the path of Christ, to follow the teachings of the Buddha, to hold the light of Krishna, to be a master. Yet I tell you this, it is far more difficult to deny what you are than to accept it. You are goodness and mercy and compassion and understanding. You are peace and joy and light. You are forgiveness and patience, strength and courage, a helper in times of need, a comforter in times of sorrow, a healer in time of injury, a teacher in times of confusion. You are the deepest wisdom and the highest truth, the greatest peace and the grandest love. You are these things, and in moments of your life, you have known yourself as these things. Choose now to know yourself as these things always. So, the big point being made here by the author to God is, you know, is the fact that, we feel he, healing or anything to do with healing has to do with you being absolutely normal. But healing basically is more of a wisdom part to you, so that you know कि भैया ये है मेरे साथ बिकॉज मैंने ये चीज की, तभी ये मेरे साथ हुआ, and what is it that I need to learn. So the learning part, the wisdom part, the experiential part, and especially that lesson and that wisdom in that process of experience, when you get that, that is when you're truly healed. Because healing is getting to homeostasis. Homeostasis is normalcy, being normal. Because अब वो चीज हमें समझ आ गई है कि ये मेरे साथ क्यों हो रहा है, और जब मैंने उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, अच्छा इनिशियली अगर एक्सेप्ट नहीं भी कर पाते, मैंने एक्नॉलेज कर लिया कि ओके दिस इज देयर, I cannot accept it as of now, it's okay. But that same thing will stop bothering you. It's actually as simple as that. Because, if you compare yourself to a child, जब एक छोटा बच्चा होता है ना, say up to 7 years, 8 years, when the cognition is not developed, he is pure consciousness at play. उसके माइंड में कुछ नहीं है, वो किसी को जज नहीं करेगा. अगर जज भी करेगा ना, ये बहुत बुरा है, 2 मिनट बाद उसी के साथ खेल रहा होगा. He is not holding on to his judgment. But as grown-ups, if you make a judgment, that's a line made, distinction mark declared. He is not good, he is bad. And we live with that judgment for I don't know how long. It's okay. बच्चे से सीखना पड़ेगा ना. Actually speaking, this is what we need to learn from the kids. Why is it that spending time with kids, you have so much fun? Because it is pure consciousness at play. अगर वो judgment को pass भी कर रहे हैं ना, they are not holding it against that other person. अगर दो बच्चे आपस में लड़ भी रहे हैं ना, he is bad, he is bad, he is bad, 2 मिनट बाद फिर they will be playing with each other. Because they have not let that judgment, that labeling define themselves. Because अभी उनका cognition develop नहीं हुआ. But as adults, after the age of say 7, 8, when your cognition starts developing, it's the case with us also, we hold on to those judgments, those labels. And that is our belief systems. And that is part and parcel of our conditioning, our programming, our upbringing. Because अब हमने जो वहां पे judgment, जो experience हुआ है, उसके बेस पे reasoning शुरू कर दी है. This is good and this is bad. So if anything of that sort, which is bad as per our judgment, we live with that judgment. Whereas at the root level of the soul, it is just an experience, either desirable or undesirable. But we are here to learn. And it is through duality that we learn. And duality says it clearly that everything is part of the same coin. And in the so-called language of the judgment, it is only when you know what good is that you can define what bad is. But we can always change that coin of good and bad to desirable and undesirable. That is the choice we have. And the acceptance of who and what you are right now, that is important. आप जैसे हो. There was this ad, I should love it. लहर कुरकुरे की ad थी. टेढ़ा है पर मेरा है. So आप जैसे हो ना, being a टेढ़े, पतले, मोटे, smart, bald, nothing matters. You are the perfect creation that the God wanted for your experience. The only thing you need to do is start acknowledging it, so that deep down that acceptance starts coming in. अपने आप को लेबल करना बंद करो. सेल्फ क्रिटिसाइज, सेल्फ लेबलिंग सबसे पहले बंद करो. Because the first thing to do is once you work with your self labeling, then you can work with others. Because once you stop passing judgments about yourself, then only you will be able to stop your judgments about others. Because पहले अपने आप पे तो काम करना पड़ेगा ना. I am not good enough. I can't do this. I am fat. I am very thin. I don't have good muscles. I don't have a good car. I don't have a good house. Whatever is it that you are labeling yourself, stop that. Because you are the perfect creation God wanted the soul to experience. और इस चीज को जब आप acknowledge करना शुरू कर दोगे, I don't say you will accept it. It's okay. Start acknowledging. The acceptance will come eventually. Because by acknowledging, you are giving a green signal to the universe, to the God, to the almighty energy, whatever name you want to call it, that I trust the process. Chapter 4. Oof, you inspire me. Well, if God can't inspire you, who in hell can? Are you always this flip? I meant that not as a flippancy. Read it again. Oh, I see. Yes. However, it would be okay if I were being flip, wouldn't it? I don't know. I am used to my God being a little more serious. Well, do me a favor and don't try to contain me. By the way, do yourself the same favor. It just so happens I have a great sense of humor. I'd say you'd have to when you see what you've all done with life, wouldn't you? I mean, sometimes I have to just laugh at it. It's all right though, because you see, I know all, it'll all come out all right in the end. What do you mean by that? I mean, you can't lose in this game. You can't go wrong. It's not part of the plan. And there is no way not to get where you're going. There is no way to miss your destination. If God is your target, you are in luck because God is so big, you can't miss. That's the big worry, of course. The big worry is that somehow we'll mess up and not get to ever see you be with you. Sala, give me 2 minutes. You mean get to heaven? Yes. We are all afraid of going to hell. So you placed yourself there to begin with in order to avoid going there. Interesting strategy. There you are, being flipped again. I can't help it. The whole hell thing brings out the worst in me. Good grief, you're a regular comedian. It took you this long to find out that you looked at the world lately, which brings me to another question. Why don't you fix the world instead of allowing it to go to hell? Why don't you? Yes, sir. You have a question.
Yeah, since the beginning, we've been reading that there's no wrong, there's no right. And over here, in the answer that God gives, He says you can't go wrong. So, like, isn't that
No.
kind of contradicting what we've been
The whole
reading since
issue
the
is
beginning?
that's the language you understand as of now, na?
Oh, like that.
अगर हम acceptance में हैं, तो God की language भी तो है, वो तो सिखाने की कोशिश कर रहा है ना. So he has to have that language. I mean, if God starts and speaking to you in Tamil, you won't understand. So he has to speak your language. Because we know what good, bad, wrong is, so he's using those words. But he's very clear. Good and bad is nothing but our judgment.
A perception of the mind. Got it.
So in order to understand, make you understand, that's why this is used. I think ये कहीं book में आता भी है. I'm very sure about that.
Okay.
I don't have the power. Nonsense. You've the power and the ability right now to end world hunger this minute, to cure diseases this instant. What if I told you your own medical profession holds back cures, refuses to approve alternative medicines and procedures because they threaten the very structure of the healing profession? What if I told you that the governments of the world do not want to end world hunger? Would you believe me? I'd have a hard time with that. I know that's the populist view, but I can't believe it's actually true. No doctor wants to deny a cure. No countryman wants to see his people die. No individual doctor, that's true. No particular countryman, that's right. But doctoring and politicking have become institutionalized, and it is the institutions that fight these things, sometimes very subtly, sometimes even unwittingly, but inevitably, because to those institutions it's a matter of survival. And so, to give you just one simple and obvious example, doctors in the West deny the healing efficacies of doctors in the East, because to accept them, to admit that certain alternative modalities might just provide some healing, would be to tear at the very fabric of the institution as it has structured itself. This is not malevolent. Yes, it is inside us. The profession doesn't do this because it is evil. It does it because it is scared. All attack is a call for help. I read that in A Course in Miracles. I put it there. Boy, you have an answer for everything, which reminds me, we only just started getting to your questions. We were discussing how to get your life on track, how to get it to take off. I was discussing the process of creation. Yes, and I keep interrupting. That's all right. But let's just get back, because we don't want to lose the thread of something that's very important. Life is a creation, not a discovery. Each and everything, it's funny, but there is so much of commercialization involved, and so much of vested interest of individuals, of institutions, companies, in order to hold more money, make more money. इतना misguide कर रहे हैं. I mean, there is no, a lot of people have no idea what is, what all is happening. And just for their vested interest of making more money, making that extra buck, everybody is being guided in the wrong, I wouldn't say wrong, in a very different direction, where we see everybody is right now at a place where they're not at ease. They're not at ease with what is. And one of the major reasons is the commercialization of people, institution, companies, everything, and in everything. And their best buddies are these advertisement guys. In order to make that extra money in that advertisement, वो ऐसी ऐसी चीजें बोल देते हैं जो हमारा माइंड उसी टाइम सुनता, हाँ यार ये तो मुझे चाहिए थी. But what is the reality? Nobody knows. Is this going to give you, extra energy, or is this going to give you harm? We don't know. It's a very, one of the basic reasons and one of the basic shifts that is happening right now is people are actually looking at alternative modalities of healing, and there are so many of them. And they have had such tremendous results कि आप सोच ही नहीं सकते. Because in a lot of diseases, the allopathic doctorate does not have a cure. I mean, there are those disorders jahan pe nahi hai. Anxiety, just give him antidepressants. That is not the cure. You're only curing the symptom. Where is the anxiety coming from? What is the root cause? Okay. I don't say the medical profession or, it's not there. It is required. Agar haddi toot gayi, so yes, we will need a fracture. So you need, but 60 to 70% of the cases, you do not need medication, because anything that is going inside you is chemical. आयुर्वेदिक भी होते हैं, बट उसमें भी कमर्शलाइजेशन में इतना वो जिसे कहते हैं ना, वो इन ऑर्डर टू एनहांस द शेल्फ लाइफ इतने वो प्रेजर्वेटिव्स डाल देते हैं that it spoils rather than helps. Cooking oils, all these things, just in order to increase their shelf life, कि भैया ये चीज साल चले, उसमें preservatives डाल देता है. Now what is preservatives? It's a combination of salt and sugar. Fresh खा लो यार, there is no harm. But हमें भी अपनी convenience चाहिए. So they are targeting that convenience of ours. And the day we realize this, that everything in, what is happening in our space and how they are encashing just to get things more convenient for us. What did Zomato do? Going to a restaurant was a task, but everybody wanted to have outside food. He encashed that convenience factor. भैया घर बैठे बैठे आ जाएगा, 10-15 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा लगेंगे, घर के बैठे बैठे आ जाएगा. I don't want to get into the whole thing of what the restaurants actually charge if you go directly to them and what Zomato charges. Is a whole this thing. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, there is a huge difference. But जो समझने वाली चीज है वो ये है कि यहाँ पे जो भी हो रहा है ना, हर चीज कमर्शलाइजेशन में हो रही है, and we are actually giving it more importance because we want everything to be convenient. Because we always want pleasure, we do not even want to think about the thing. There's a very famous line that you work hard to earn money till the time you are 50, and then after 50, you spend all that money you earned on your health because you lost it all the way till 50. क्या कर रहे हैं हम? जो है जैसा है खुश रहो. This, I mean, it's very funny. I don't know if you guys have had these experiences. But आज की डेट में ना, अगर आप if you talk to small children 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, they also know. मुझे ना anxiety हो रही है. I'm very stressed. Hello. How is it that that word is in their space? Because we are using it with them. We are using it around them. How can a 6-year-old be stressed? Just think of it. But just because uske space mein people are using this word, he's picked up the word. They will pick up. 70 to 80% of what your kids are doing, if you have CCTV cameras, install them, you'll see you are doing it. Major concern about these last 2 years COVID was बच्चों का screen time बहुत बढ़ गया. There was a survey done where they installed CCTVs and they started checking the screen times of the parents. It was more. Check your screen time before you're thinking that, the screen time of my kid is very high. It'll be more. Then how can we expect? So, बच्चे सबसे पहले उठाते हैं, and they will pick up the way you are, because they will pick up at the core. They will not pick up what you're telling them. वो भी थोड़ा थोड़ा उठाते हैं, but जो आप कर रहे हो, because they have that observation power, and they will pick it up like that. You do not live each day to discover what it holds for you, but to create it. You are creating your reality every minute, probably without knowing it. Here's why that is so and how that works. Number one, I have created you in the image and likeness of God. Number two, God is the creator. Number three, you are three beings in one. You can call these three aspects of being anything you want: Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, mind, body, and spirit, superconscious, conscious, subconscious. Number 4, creation is a process that proceeds from these three parts of your body. Put another way, you create at three levels. The tools of creation are thought, word, and deed. Number 5, all creation begins with thought, proceeds from the Father. All creation then moves to word. Ask and you shall receive. Speak and it shall be done unto you. All creation is fulfilled indeed, and the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Number 6, that which you think of, but thereafter never speak of, creates at one level. That which you think of and speak of creates at another level. That which you think, speak, and do becomes made manifest in your reality. Number 7, to think, speak, and do something which you do not truly believe is impossible. Therefore, the process of creation must include belief or knowing. This is absolute faith. This is beyond hoping. This is knowing of a certainty. By your faith shall ye be healed. Therefore, the doing part of creation always includes knowing. It is a gut level clarity, a total certainty, a complete acceptance as reality of something. Number 8, this place of knowing is a place of intense and incredible gratitude. It is a thankfulness in advance, and that perhaps is the biggest key to creation. To be grateful for and for the creation. Such taking for granted is not only condoned but encouraged. It is the sure sign of mastery. All masters know in advance that the deed has been done. Number 9, celebrate and enjoy all that you have created. To reject any part of it is to reject a part of yourself. Whatever is it that is now presenting itself as part of your creation, own it, claim it, bless it, be thankful for it. Seek not to condemn it. God damn it, for to condemn is to condemn yourself. Number 10, if there is some aspect of creation you find you do not enjoy, bless it and simply change it. Choose again. Call forth a new reality. Think a new thought. Say a new word. Do a new thing. Do this magnificently, and the rest of the world will follow you. Ask it to, call for it to. Say, I am the life and the way. Follow me. This is how to manifest God's will on earth as it is in heaven.